everyone. In this video, we're going to talk about how to build your Fiddle Fob project. Again, it's something that's been on the website and available pre-built, but we haven't sold them in the booth or any place for ages. So we're really excited to have a new version of this project back and available to you to play with, because it's just so much fun to play with, especially when it's all lit up. So let's open our bag and take a look at the parts and pieces that you'll find in your bag. Now first, you're going to find 2 batteries, which you're going to put aside because we don't need them till we're done, and a little battery holder with an LED soldered to it. And we'll get to that when we're ready to do the assembly. You've also got a hardware kit that you can put aside. And then in terms of wood pieces, and a ball chain to put aside. To get to wood pieces, you're going to find 3 gears. Those are the 3 gears on the outside of the box that you'll want to sand and then decorate however you want to do them. The box bottom, which we're going to mostly cover with the battery holder, but you definitely can see a little bit of it if you're actually looking. So you'll probably want to do some basic decorating with it, even if it's just to Sharpie it all black, so that it stays discreet. And then you have the box top, little tiny top, and finally the 4 sides. And these are the 4 sides. The one that doesn't have the curvy bottom is the back of your piece. And then the sides all have an etched circle on one side. That etched circle is going to be the outside of your box. So you want to make sure that if you're doing fancy decorating, the outside of your piece gets decorated better than the inside. And last but not least, be aware that there's going to be an LED lighting up the inside. So people will definitely be able to see into your Fiddle Fob and play with them. So you don't want to make the inside too boring, maybe even make it reflective. The fun thing about them is they really do light up and cast shadows in a dark room. So it makes a really fun thing to cast light on your face or anything else you want. All right, so now go away, decorate your pieces, have some fun, make sure you sand at least, especially on the outside surfaces and the back side of the gear, so it spins really, really smoothly like this one, and you can just enjoy it. All right, talk to you soon. Now that you've assembled and decorated all your pieces, I'm going to show you how to assemble the Fiddle Fob, which is my very favorite piece from this project. You'll notice I've got a pretty glowing light bulb in it, and we're ready to go. So the first thing we want to do when we put it together is lay out your 4 sides so they're straight and you can see what pieces are. Notice that I've got these tabs that go up here, and the one that has the 2 with the holes in it is going to be the back. So one side is going to match one side of that, and one side is going to match the other. The one piece that doesn't have any tabs then is going to be your box front. So we need our hardware, and we're going to start by installing our gears on our parts. And I'm going to take my 1 gear, put a screw through it, and I'm going to take my front piece and add a screw to it. So I've made these so that you need to tighten them with a screwdriver just a little bit. They're a little tight. And then I'm not going to glue the nuts on yet because I've become paranoid about gluing on nuts, but that looks like it's working perfectly. So now that I know I can get it nice and smooth, do not over tighten these. If you do, you will be very sad. So putting my front one on, just spinning it a couple of times to get it nice and loose and keep it spinning nice and loose. And then I need to do that to the other 2 sides. Make sure you leave the one with the 2 holes on the top alone. And then when we assemble it, is the reason I'm going to tell you the challenge of putting these gears on first. If you assemble it without the gears on it, then you can put the gears on it at the end, but then your fingers have to be very small, especially when you're going to try to put glue on the nuts. If you assemble it the other way, this way, then you have to be really careful not to get glue on the gears when you glue it together. So a couple of different choices for doing your assembly on your gears, but in either case, it's all about making sure you don't get glue on the gears from the parts and gluing the pieces together. It's one of the reasons we had such a challenge with making this originally. Now, if I pop this top off so you can see inside this, and this is the reason this top isn't glued on. Come on. Don't be stubborn. Pull the back off instead. You'll notice that I've got a lot of space on the side that's the back, and this slot goes almost all the way to the front. So I'm going to start with my bottom getting glued to the front here. And I'm going to do that not by putting glue on this bottom piece, but by putting glue on the inside right here. And we're going to glue the bottom piece in like so. And push on it a second, make sure it actually glues in. And now I'm ready for my two sides. Now this side, the way you know which side is which is you want that hole to be towards the back, because I want to be able to hang my top through it. So I'm going to put a little glue here. And a little glue here on the inside. And a little glue here and here just to hold the whole thing together. And now you've got the challenge of making sure the gear teeth line up and don't get in the way of sticking the bottom in. But if you can get it popped together right, then you should end up with something that's nice and spinny for two sides. Once it glues. And there you go, and I've got two sides that are spinning nice and smoothly. Not a problem at all. If it feels like the problem is they're too loose, you can always tighten them up with a pair of pliers and a screwdriver, but I've got my pendant spinning nice and smoothly. I'm trying to come apart. One more try. A little more glue. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Take the other side, flip it so the gears are out. Put glue on those pieces like so. And so. Make sure the gears are aligned such that they don't get in my way putting it together. And last but not least, make sure that I'm not popping it apart with the glue. There's so little wood to glue to here, it gets a little tricky. So be a little careful as you do it. And now I'm going to actually glue the three surfaces of the top on to give myself a little more surface area for attaching the thing together. And I'm going to put lines of glue in here to do that. And using the top will help get everything held together nicely so that the sides stay on better. And I'm going to continue to test spin it as I go. And all is well with the world. And if I had one more minute, what I would probably do is grab a pair of pliers and tighten that screw in a little bit, because that gear's just popping out a little as it spins, but it's fine otherwise. All right, next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the unit with my battery holder on it. And first thing I need to do is show you a little bit about these LEDs. This is our first electronics project in the box. I'm so excited. So I'm going to take one of these CR2032 batteries, and you'll notice that it says plus on the top. And if I stick the battery in, it lights up. And if I pull the battery out, it goes away. If I put it in upside down, it doesn't light at all. Now, these LEDs are not like the old school ones. These actually have a little computer in them so that they change colors for you. So you can't just take it over and flip it upside down in the pack to not use it. I'm sorry to say, you actually have to leave it there. So what you're going to do to get it lit is you're just going to stick it in through the hole, and you're going to glue it to the bottom of your box. And you'll notice what I've done is I've got it glued about here in the box on the bottom, and if I put the battery pack in, the battery will come in and out okay. It's easier to take out with a pair of pliers or something else. You can stick it out a little further if you want to. If you make this middle part come to the back of the tab, it's way easier to take on and off. But then the battery is sticking out the back just a little bit further than you might like. So you're going to have to decide how far in and out how hard you want that battery to be to take in and out of the project. And all you're going to do, and do it without the battery in probably, is put a nice bunch of glue here. And don't be shy on using glue. And you're going to pick it up and you're going to slide it through the hole. And you're going to stick it to the bottom like so. The reason I saved this for the end of the project, though, is so you could see how easy and hard it was to move in the various places you might want to put it. So now that I've got it glued in there, I can just slip my battery in and we're good to go. And my battery will come out okay. And now you can glue the back onto your piece. There's quite a bit of pressure fit, and it kind of holds fairly nicely without gluing it on. You may want to leave it not glued on for the first while and then glue it on later. Completely up to you again as you decide how you want this to go and how you're going to use it. I'm going to go ahead and glue this one on. Put my back in and glue it on so the whole piece holds together better. And there you have it, your very own Wibble Wobble. And now we need to put the chain on. And I do want to show you how I normally do this on Wibble Wobbles because it's a little sneaky. First, I'm going to use the side that doesn't have the ball chain connector on it. And I'm going to run in through this side. And then I'm going to run out the back. And then I'm going to run in the back on this side. With the correct end, of course. And then I'm going to run out through the other side. By doing that, when it's hanging, like so, the chain is out of the way of the gears, and you're not going to have a problem with the chain flipping the gears. If you do it other ways, you may have a little bit of a problem with the chain getting in the way of the gear teeth, and it needs to be hung to be able to spin it. But now you have an ever so pretty wibble wobble. Fiddle Fob, not a wibble wobble, those are different, of your very own, and I'm very excited. Our very first electronics project in the box of making, and you have one.